Hey everybody, Maria here. It's been a minute. I haven't posted in a while. I got COVID about a little over 2 weeks ago, and it was rough. That first week was really rough, and then the second week, it was just trying to get better and feel more like myself, but didn't have quite the energy. So I have some good news. I am 9 pounds down. And it took me about 5 weeks. So I'm really excited about that. I've basically, since I got my blood work done, I got my blood taken May 30th and got the results like a couple days after that, most of them. And my insulin was really high, but my A1C and my glucose, my blood glucose was normal. It was like not even in the, no, I think was it in the pre-diabetic range? No, it wasn't. It was not in the pre-diabetic range. It was like right before that. Anyway, it's close enough basically. I've basically started researching a lot about insulin resistance and what should I do? How should I go about, fixing my diet and all that good stuff. So basically I cut out sugar in my coffee immediately. And I stopped eating sugar. I stopped drinking my coffee on an empty stomach in the mornings. And I have been focusing on protein and greens and fiber as much as possible. And then I got the book, The Glucose Goddess, about a couple weeks after that. And then I started, I read the book and I started implementing her hacks. And even before doing reading the book, I was doing some of her hacks, just basically like eating food in a certain way, moving my body after each meal. Like I was just like kind of like marching in place or like taking laps around my apartment or getting on the walking pad for like 10 minutes, just very lightly, nothing like too vigorous, it just depended on my energy. And, I wasn't really seeing results. Like the first 2-3 weeks were kind of like the scale wasn't really moving, but I was feeling better though. And I felt smaller. Like I actually measured my waist and, I still haven't gotten my husband to measure the rest of my body, but I measured my waist and I have dropped about 1.5 inches from my waist since then. So that's been like 3 weeks, I think. 3 weeks ago when I measured myself. So I basically have, the first like 2-3 weeks, I didn't really see much results on the scale per se, but I did feel a lot better. And my anxiety, I've only had one panic attack. And that was like right after I got my blood work taken, a couple days after that. So I hadn't really started like eating better or, changing certain things. And, so basically, after reading the book, I started implementing all her hacks and I started feeling even better. And then like around like towards like the end of week 3, I finally started losing weight. Like the scale started going down and it started going down consistently. So I'm 9 pounds down in about 5 weeks, which is really huge for me. I don't think I've lost lost that much weight in a really long time, like 9 pounds in like 5 weeks, but this is like the first time I've been really strict with my diet, like really just sticking it out and going for it, because there's been times where I've like stopped, there's been times where I've stopped like the sugar in my coffee, but I still ate like other stuff that had sugar. And it's so funny how much stuff has sugar in it. I still have like yogurt, cottage cheese, milk, fruit that has like sugar in it, but I try to avoid things that have added sugars. And when I do have something that has some sugar in it, I try to eat vegetables first and then protein, then like something more carby. So like I definitely am on the lower carbs side. I'm not keto though, but because I do have the yogurt and all that, you know, has carbs in it. So, but I definitely feel a lot smaller. I really wish I would have like measured myself. I need to do that this week. I need to get my husband to do that. Like, you know, all the measurements, like neck, shoulders, arms, all that good stuff. And movement wise, I've been just doing very light movement and light weights, like very light, like, you know, dumbbells and stuff like that. And walking and dancing, stretching, stuff like that. Because I'm really trying to focus on the food part and just like moving my body lightly and gently so I don't hurt myself either. Because my cortisol was kind of, I got that tested as well. So I need to, my cortisol is extremely low in the morning and it's not supposed to be. And I think that was because I was having all these panic attacks at night. So it was like extremely high at night when it shouldn't have been. But yeah, so the no sugar thing was hard, like in the beginning, like, and me eating breakfast was hard too, because I wasn't used to just eating breakfast. I was just, used to just drinking my delicious coffee, because I did use quite a bit of sugar in my coffee. It was like a sweet drink, you know, and it's funny how now that I only put half and half in my coffee and no sugar, I don't even really want it anymore. Like after I've like eaten, like I feel like satisfied and I don't even really want the coffee anymore. So I'm gonna kind of test that out. I use like Greek frappe, like Nescafe coffee, instant coffee. So I'm going to I used to like use like a heaping tablespoon, which is a lot. So now I'm down to like 1.5 teaspoons of that. So I'm gonna keep lowering that and seeing how I go, because sometimes when I would do stuff without coffee, like when I would go without coffee, I would get headaches. So I'm gonna just kind of monitor that and see how I feel. And in the beginning of like changing like the way I was eating, I was definitely, you know, the breakfast thing, I was like hungry, like ravenous from the morning to the afternoon. Like I almost had like 3 breakfasts. And then I would feel like, okay, I don't feel as hungry. And then, so now I have it a little bit more down, like where I'm eating like a bigger breakfast. And it's not really that big. I think my body's just gotten like used to eating in the morning now. And, I can go anywhere from 4 to 5 hours between meals without feeling hungry and not really having any cravings. I've only had 3 desserts during this time period, during these 5 weeks. The first dessert, my husband and I, we went to this new sushi restaurant and they had fried Oreos. And they were like, you know, just tiny little Oreos. And I had 6 of them. I had 6 of those. They were really good. But I was planning. I was like, I wanted dessert. I was craving dessert. And I in the beginning of the meal, I had cucumbers with ponzu sauce. And then I had edamame, and then the sushi, and then I had the dessert at the end. And then we walked afterwards too. So, anyways, I had the 6 Oreos and maybe like 3 bites of vanilla ice cream. Okay. That was like my first dessert. Then 2 weeks went by and we went to this like bowling alley / like axe throwing, and laser tag place. And my husband was drinking one of those like ices like that you get at the movie theater. And I really, really wanted one. I love those things. And I was trying my best like not to do it. So anyways, after I ate lunch, which was like, I had chicken wings that day, so I focused on protein. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get the icy. So it was like an orange creamsicle icy. So that was the second dessert I had. And then the most recent dessert I had was last week, like towards the end of last week, like it was a Friday. Today is Tuesday, the 8th. I'm gonna post this vlog tomorrow. I had a cinnamon roll from Whole Foods, and the only reason I had it was because it was at home. My husband went grocery shopping, which I know that's always a mistake. Whenever he goes grocery shopping, he always gets like stuff that he shouldn't get. Anyways, long story short, he got these like 4 cinnamon rolls in a box from Whole Foods, and he had one. He was like, oh my god, so good, blah blah blah. And then I had one the next day because I just kept thinking about it, and I was like, Maria, you don't want it. You're not craving a cinnamon roll. You just freaking want it because it's here. But because it was there and I was staring at it for 2 days almost, I started to crave it. Anyways, I had the cinnamon roll, I had it after I had a meal, after I had my vegetables and my protein, and then I had the cinnamon roll. And it felt so sweet to me. I was like so surprised at how sweet it was. I took most of the icing off, and I didn't eat all the icing, because that part was just like super sweet to me, which is very weird. I don't know if like my taste buds are changing. And then I went on a 20-minute walk right after I ate that to help with any kind of glucose spike, whatever. So I definitely am not craving as much. Actually, I'm not really having many cravings to begin with, which is great. I am on my period right now. I'm on day 6 of my period, which is really, really long for me, because I have IUD, so I usually don't get a period like that much. So this time around, I'm on day 6, which I haven't been, and I had the cinnamon roll in the beginning of that, so I don't know if that kind of like contributed to that, but yeah. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, even though it was really hard in the beginning, like getting rid of the sugar and like all the other, in general, carbs, which I've had carbs, like, especially now as time goes by, I'm having less and less carbs, because I've noticed like how I feel when I have rice, or how I feel when I eat a sandwich like with too much bread, so it's definitely like I feel it, and the fact that like my anxiety and my panic attacks, I haven't had any, is like such a miracle. Like, you guys don't, I mean, those panic attacks were so bad because they would last hours. Like, I would have one for hours, and my stomach would be in knots for hours, running to the bathroom for hours. It was just in pain, feeling like I'm gonna die. Like, it was horrible. And that just going away is so worth it to me, like, to continue this. There's all these bugs everywhere. Anyways, yeah, like, it was hard in the beginning, like, adjusting to eating breakfast, because I did not want to eat. I just wanted my sweet coffee. And then, not having the sweet coffee anymore. And then feeling hungry a lot after my first breakfast. Then basically I had to start eating more per sitting to feel like I was eating enough, Like, for example, now, so some days I'll have like 4 hard-boiled eggs, and I'll have that with Melba toast. These like Greek Melba toast that I get. We call them friganes in Greek. And then I'll have like a little bit of yogurt and a little bit of like fruit with that. If my day that I'm eating hard-boiled eggs, I don't really have much after that. Like, it might be just a little bit of yogurt, a little bit of fruit, or maybe none at all, actually. Lately, this past like 4 or 5 days, I've been doing a lot of yogurt, Greek yogurt with some whole milk, because I like it kind of like creamier. And then I put 2 tablespoons of chia seeds and a banana, or I'll do berries, and some peanut butter. And then I can go almost 4 or 5 hours without eating again, eating my lunch. In general, I've been eating my dinners like the latest 7 o'clock, but I've been kind of averaging around 5:30 to 6, which is also really good. And the fact that I'm not snacking at night either anymore, like I don't, and again, the first 3 weeks I was like snacking. I was eating 3 string cheeses like around 9 p.m. But now I don't need to do that anymore. I'm not hungry. I'm good. And so the shit's working, man. So I'm curious to see how it's going to go when I start increasing my activity. Because, I know sometimes that increases your hunger your appetite and whatever. But I have been doing very light weights, like super light, like nothing crazy, not a lot of reps, like literally one arm exercise. I did some squats yesterday. I haven't done squats in a really long time, and I was showing my husband. He was like, yeah, you're doing the form right and everything, but I was having pain in my lower back, and that's because, like, I have no core strength really, and I have a bigger chest and belly, so my center of gravity goes like forward. And so we're gonna start doing some like mobility exercises to kind of help strengthen my core and my back, in general, everything, till I get stronger and stronger to be able to do more stuff, like even just like a regular squat, without it like hurting me and putting too much stress on my lower back. So yeah, things are going pretty good. Besides me getting freaking COVID, which sucked. Oh my God. My husband got sick first. I got sick like 6 hours after him. And I was like, what the hell's going on? Like, first it was my throat, but the worst part was the 3 days of fever. Like 3 days of really bad fever, like crazy chills, like my body like shivering like super hard, and then sweating. Like I was basically sweating all night, all week, and body aches. The body aches were like really bad, and I was taking Advil every 4-6 hours, and it helped tremendously, but still it was pretty freaking bad, man. And then yesterday I went to IKEA, and that was the first day that I walked a lot. I did like 6,000 steps in IKEA. I was pouring sweat the whole time I was at IKEA. I was sweating. And then even now, I've been running errands all day. I've been sweating all day. Like, I'm just sweating way more than usual. So I don't know if that's like COVID or the fact that I've been like kind of sedentary because I did get sick. I don't know. One thing I'm really proud about myself is that even though I got sick, I still kept up with like my diet, like my eating habits, and like and trying to move. Like the first like 3 days I couldn't do the whole like movement thing after eating, but I started doing that again. Like the fourth day I did a little bit of like sidestepping for like 5 minutes after like one of my meals. So yeah, it's been really good. I'm surprised because usually when I'm like sick, I'm like, oh fuck it, I'm sick, I'm gonna eat whatever I want to make myself feel better, and all that. And like it hasn't been that way. I just kept on doing it, and it just feels so good to, like, even though like the first 3 weeks I said like there wasn't really much movement with the scale, like I lost 2 pounds, I gained it back, and then I lost it again, like it was like kind of like that kind of bullshit. But I could tell my body just felt smaller. I could tell like my underwear is looser. Like I just felt it, and just feeling that, and just feeling like progress for once, like it just feels so good. And then the scale finally started moving. Oh my God, I was like so happy. I've never had like this much, like I haven't like lost this much weight in 5 weeks in a really long time. Like I can't even remember when. Because even when I started losing weight, and it took me like 2 years to lose like the 65 pounds, and I gained some of that weight back late last year, I did it very slowly, and it was almost like half a pound of weight loss consistently a week. I was extremely slow. I was taking baby steps and I was focusing mainly on calorie deficit, not really like what I'm eating. Like I was eating a lot of carbs, still eating a lot of sugar, stuff like that, and now that I've changed the way I'm eating and what I'm eating, it's been really helpful. And I hope I have to take my blood work again, like in 3 months. And I really hope I see some progress there. And, I'm still tracking my calories and my portions because I still want to make sure I'm in a calorie deficit for the most part, or close to one, whatever, and just to keep track, like data, like what's working. Like the more data I have, I do better with that, because I can see like what are my patterns, what am I doing, oh look, the weeks I did this or whatever. It's funny, the weeks that like I eat less, like around 2,000 calories, I don't lose the weight as much as when I eat like around 2,400 calories, you know? So I don't know, I'm just keeping track of that because like who knows what it is exactly. It's gonna take like months and months of data to like figure that out probably. Anyways, that's it, you guys. If you stayed this long, thanks so much for watching. Thanks for sticking around. Sorry it's been a minute since I posted, but I am feeling better and things are looking good. So I look forward to keep this up. Okay? Hope everyone does well. I mean, hope. Oh God. Yeah. Bye.